boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to Wonderland. Well, not quite yet, but we'll be there soon enough. Now, I first must ask that all noise-making devices, beepers, cell phones, younger siblings, please be turned off at this moment. Our actors are very distracted. Also, I must ask that children, if your parents start getting noisy and fussy during the show, please take them outside, okay? Also, we would like to thank the Youth Stevens Library and Warehouse Theater for their sponsoring and contribution to this production. If you all brought your books, you're probably wondering why you brought them. Well, actually, they're being donated to the Books for Africa Foundation so that libraries may be built in Africa. Okay. Now, hope you're all prepared for the adventure to come. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there lived a young girl named Alice. One hot summer's day, as Alice sat idly by on a riverbank, she grew very tired of having nothing to do. Once or twice she peeked into her book, but there were no pictures or conversation in them. And what is the use of a book without pictures or conversation? Just as Alice was trying to decide whether or not to get up and pick some daisies, a wood rabbit dashed by. Now, Alice thought there was nothing very unusual about it, nor did she think it very unusual when the rabbit handed himself.
Oh dear, I shall be late for a very important date.
But when the rabbit took a watch out of his waistcoat pocket, looked at it, and hurried on, Alice jumped to her feet. She had never before seen a white rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. She ran after him to see him pop down a large rabbit hole, and without a moment's hesitation, she jumped in after him. My goodness, did you see them run so fast? Oh, I wish I could run that fast. Can you run that fast? How about you? Oh. Down, 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 Alice fell. And falling down, and down, and down, and down, and down. Suddenly, she went thump, thump, thump on a heap of sticks and dry leaves. The fall was over, and not too far was the white rabbit. If you please, sir. Dear, how odd everything is today. Yesterday, things went on just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same person when I got up this morning? Almost think I can remember feeling a little bit different. But if I'm not the same person, who in the world am I? Just then, Alice spotted a large mushroom. She looked under it, and on both sides of it, and it finally occurred to her to look on top of it. So she peeped over the mushroom, when suddenly her eyes met those on a large blue caterpillar. Oh! Oh! You! I hardly know, sir. Just at present. I know who I was when I got up this morning, but things have changed since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself. You see?
I do not see.
Well, I don't know how I can make it any clearer. You see, life is very confusing.
No, it isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't figured this out for yourself yet. But when you turn into a chrysalis, your next stage of life, and after that into a beautiful butterfly, I should think you would find it rather confusing. Don't you think so?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings are different than mine. All I know is it would seem very odd to me.
You? Who are you?
Alice sighed. Now that we're back to the beginning of their conversation, Alice was a little more than irritated at the caterpillar. I think you ought to tell me who you are first. Why? Another ridiculous question. turning a sharp corner. She came across two little men so suddenly that she couldn't help but stare back. But in a moment she recovered herself, knowing soon that they must be Tweedledee and Tweedledum. She knew which was which in a moment because one of them had "Dum" embroidered on their collar and the other "Hey!" Alice was just looking round to see if Tweedle was written on the back of their collars when she was startled by words coming from the one marked "Dum." If you think for wax, you ought to pay, you know. What made to be looked at for nothing, no how. Contrariwise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak. I'm sure I'm very sorry. I know what you're getting at, but it isn't so no-how. Contrariwise, if it was so, it would be. And if it was so, it would be. But as it isn't today, that's logic. I was thinking, which is the best way out of the wood? You've begun all wrong. The first thing in a visit is to say, how do you do, and shake hands. How do you do, shake on, shake on, shake on. How do you do, shake on, shake on. Do you like poetry? Well, yes, pretty well. Some poetry. Could you tell me which way is the way out of the wood? It's getting very dark. What should I read for her? The walrus and the carpenter is the longest. Oh! Did you hear me come? The walrus said, you talk of wiggly things, of shoes and ships and silly wax, of cabbages and kings, in a while the sea is boiling hot, in weather pits are wings. I like the walrus the best. Only it really is getting late. I really ought to go. Can you tell me which way? Is it going to rain, do you think? No, I don't think. Not under here, no how. But it might out here. It may if it chooses. We've no objection. Contrary one. Yes. Selfish thing. Alex stomped away. Just as she did, she came across an open field with a little house in it. For a moment or two, she stood looking at the house, wondering what to do next, when all of a sudden a footman came running out of the forest. Thank me. And rapped at the door, which was opened by another footman. For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet. An invitation for the Duchess from the Queen to play croquet. I got the gist of it. Are you sure? An invitation from the Queen for the Duchess to play croquet. Well, I wouldn't put it quite like that. It'll do, I suppose. Oh! There's no use in talking. For two reasons. First, because I am on the same day in front of the door as you. Secondly, because they're making so much noise inside, no one could possibly hear you. What? And you tell me how I'm to get in? There must be some sense in you knocking, if we have the door between us. For instance, if you were on the inside, and you might knock, and I could let you out. But how am I to get in? I shall sit here until tomorrow, or the next day maybe, or maybe even a whole week. I might even be bought back by popular demand. Well, there's no use talking.